Hello everyone. So this is my session on POSC outbound delivery. So since previously we had discussed about the POSC inbound delivery, so this is the next version for outbound. So there we have let the goods inside the warehouse. So we follow a particular procedure to get the goods inside the warehouse. But now for POSC process oriented storage control, so we're gonna be having like the standard chain to like get the goods outside the warehouse. So this is the standard process which you are following. Mostly POSC has like a standard. This is like a simple POSC in outbound process where we're going to be having the activities like picking, packing, staging, and loading as well. So these are like the four activities which we're going to perform. So since we have an existing storage type, which is A007 and A008, so what we're going to do is like we're going to create picking strategies. So in inbound side, we will be having the put away strategies, but here you need to pick the strategies. We have pick away strategies, picking strategies. So to do by applying the picking strategies, we're gonna be moving the goods to the packaging work center, which is 8030. Later on, once we are done with the packaging, so we're gonna move that to the staging area, which is GI zone 9020. And later on, we're gonna load them to the door out storage bin which is 9040. From there, we're gonna be the transport unit is gonna take the order. So this everything happens when you get a sales order from a vendor to get the goods outside the warehouse, which is an outbound process. So to do the configurations and all, we have like multiple steps. So these are the configurations which we do. So initially we need to create a sales order. To create a sales order, we need to have these configurations ready. We need to create a sales organization, create a distribution channel, create a shipping point which we created already. We need to make sure we assign the organization to the company code, and we'll assign distribution channel to the organization. So assign division to the sales organization, set up sales area, assign sales area, and assign the shipping point. So these are like the configurations which I have got it. So this you can get it from the chat GPT. You just need to give, and these are the paths which you need to follow. But to create the sales organization, check the sales organization details and distribution channel, you'll follow this path. And to create the shipping point, you're going to follow this path and create the shipping point. Assign the sales organization to the company code. Go to this thing, assign sales organization. So these are like the steps which I have got it from the chat GPT and all. You can do it as well. So the main steps, once these configuration everything is done, we need to make sure we assign the logistic execution. So we need to assign the shipping point according to the storage location. The storage location which we have is like A008 and A007. We need to assign this. I will need to assign a shipping point for that, for which we need to follow this path, which is shipping, basic shipping functions, shipping point, goods receiving, point determination. By going to set up storage location, depend shipping point determination, we need to assign the shipping point according to storage location. So to assign the storage location, we should create a customer and loading group as well. So and also we need to assign that loading group to the master material master. To do that, we're gonna do this like a particular screenshot which has been shown here, where we're gonna assign the shipping condition as initially we're gonna give one, and the loading group will be 0001. The plant will be PL17. One is for the ROD, ready for dock, and one for available for sale. So we're gonna create two storage locations for each of the ship. This is the shipping point which I have created for my company POSP. Is a shipping point. Then later on we're gonna create a customer with the T code of BP. Once you click on BP, so you will be going to the particular page here. you need to click on organization, and you need to assign a BP role, which is like a customer. You need to change this to business partner over here. Give the company details. You need to give your customer a particular name, a default name. You can give anything. And later on, you need to create, once it's done, you're going to be, once you enter this thing, so this is the configuration which I'm doing here. So I have selected the BP role as customer new, and you need to delete the existing company code, and you need to assign your own company code, which is my company code is 7007. When you click on company code, you will get this option. And you need to make sure you give the reconciliation account. So this is basically this configuration, and everything will be done by the material management team. So you don't need to worry about a lot about this configuration, but still for the knowledge purposes, you just need to know this thing. So this is like our standard sales order which we created. We're gonna go with the outbound integration. So outbound will be integrated with the sales team, because since the inbound delivery is integrated with the material management team, outbound delivery will be integrated with the sales and distribution team. So we need to create a sales order for that, and for which we're gonna use the T code of VA01. So we're gonna assign the standard order type and assign the sales organization, distribution channel, and product division, like it is shown in the sales document. So in this video, I'm explaining about both the standard outbound delivery and the POSC as well. So this is like a standard outbound delivery which I'm explaining. Later on, we'll move on to the POSC outbound delivery as well. So the process is same, but here, once you define your sales organization, distribution channel, division, then you're gonna get a page like this where you need to give the sold to party. This is a customer, which is a default customer you're gonna create, and ship to the party. You're gonna give the customer details, and customer reference you can give a default value. Then you're gonna create the payment terms, which is 0001, which needs to be paid immediately. And you need to also assign the Incoterm CFR, and the location. You can give a default location. And you know how to create a material. So you need to give a material which is in the storage type. Like here in the storage type, you will be having a particular material, right? So for that particular material, we are creating the sales order. So you need to make sure you get that material, which is in our scenario, it is 8273, and with the order of 100 quantities, which we are getting the sales order for. Now, once we click on the material, we need to make sure we need to go, we need to, once you double click on this material, this particular page is going to open up where you're going to giving your shipping details, which is like the plant details and shipping point details and storage location. So, which is we need to give the available for sale, because those are ready to sell to the customer. So that's the storage location we are giving, AFS. Once it's done, we need to go to the edit button. We need to click on incompletion log. And once it's done, the standard page is going to open up where you're going to get these two attributes, which we need to net value and pricing. Select this thing, and you need to click on complete data. So once it's done, the pricing order should be like, now you also need to assign this particular details, which is a PRO, and price should be 100. So this is like a standard sales order which I'm creating defaultly for like idea purposes. But in real time, the numbers are going to change a bit. So this is like a default. So for this example, we're going to give PRO, and the amount is going to be 100. So once we are done with the creation of sales order, now we'll create the outbound delivery. So to create an outbound delivery, we're going to use a T code of VL01N. So once it's done, you need to enter the shipping point details, and you need to select the date and click on execute. Once it's done, you're going to be getting the details. So this is the page which you got, which is going to pop up after this thing. Once you click on this thing, click on enter, you're going to get this page like this. So here, there we're going to get the ship to party details, and you will be having your material with the quantity details and the name as well. And when you click on save, now it's gonna create an outbound delivery number, which is 18009354. So once the outbound delivery is been created, you need to process that it in the EWM side. So to process the outbound delivery at the EWM side, so we have a T code which is /n/scwm/PRDO. So now you can find the warehouse process type for the outbound where the following WPT are like warehouse number is on a document category. To assign the WPT for the outbound delivery, where the default attributes which we require is document category, document type, item type, and warehouse number as well. So in this, for document category, the default category is PDO, and document type is OUTB, and item type is ODLB. Later, we're gonna assign the following actions which you need to perform, get the outbound delivery performed, which are like picking, packing, loading, and GI issue, not GI issue, goods issue. So once we open this thing in the outbound delivery at the EWM side, we're gonna see this thing like the following item tags. When you expand this thing, you're gonna get this thing like document category. You need to check all these details that the document type is OUTB, warehouse number is right, and here the picking, packing, loading goods issue has not been started here. So to do that, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to this particular item, click on this items, and check the product details, quantity details, and we need to make sure the warehouse process type, which is 2010 for stock removal. So these are the inbound delivery side, we're gonna define the put away strategies. Like we are gonna apply the picking strategies for which the WPT is 2010, which we define for stock removal. This is the default WPT which we use for the stocking removal of the stock. Now later on, we're going to create the picking task. Going to the following path, we need to select this document number, click on outbound delivery order, go to follow on functions, and click on load. Once we load this thing, while creating the task, we need to make sure that we assign the picking strategies, or else we're going to face an error like before. So without assigning the picking strategies, if we proceed like this, so we're gonna face an error like this, that the system could not find the source storage pin because we haven't assigned any picking strategy till now. So to avoid this error, so once you go with this process without assigning the picking strategies, you're gonna pop up with this error, which is like system could not determine source storage pin. So this is the error these are the errors which we're gonna be troubleshooting in the real time scenarios, most of our EWM consultants, because we will be mostly working on implementation and support projects. So mostly, if you are in the support project, so these are the things which you're gonna get. So not exactly like this, but this is one of the scenarios like you can see. And once it's done, so to troubleshoot this thing, we need to create a warehouse process type for stock removal. So we're gonna create a WPT to change the standard at 2010 stock removal. We're gonna create our own WPT by copying from the standard one, for which we're gonna go to this particular path, which is SAP, SPRO, SAP reference, EWM cross processing settings, warehouse task, and define warehouse task. And you need to make sure that you check the destination storage type and destination storage pin here, because without this, if it is not given properly, then this particular queue is gonna break and it's gonna hold over there. So you need to make sure you check these details, which is destination storage type is 9020 and destination bin is GISO. So we need to customize accordingly. Like in our scenario for our warehouse, earlier we are using the warehouse process type as A020, and we also make sure that the destination storage type and bin are in a proper way, like we expected 9020 and GI zone. So once it's done, we're gonna assign the put away control indicator. So to do that, we're gonna move into this particular path, SPRO, SAP reference images, SCME, EWM, and cross-processing settings, warehouse task, define control indicators for determining the warehouse process type. So here you're gonna click on new entries and give your warehouse details, give the PTDI. Like here we gave our like user kind of SP, which is PTDI for simple outbound. Enter and save. Later on, you need to determine the warehouse process type, for which we're gonna go to this task. Path. SPRO, SAP reference images, SCM, EWM, cross-processing settings, warehouse process type, determine warehouse process type, new entries. And there we're gonna, when you click on new entries after reaching this path, you need to define as the particular follows. Here we're gonna assign the warehouse process, warehouse number, document type, PTDI, and A020. So these are the things we're gonna define here and click on save. Later on, we're going to define the picking strategies where we're going to define the storage types or sequence first. So that we're going to do by going to this path, which is SCM, XTM management, extended warehouse management, goods issue, strategies, define storage types or sequence, and click on new entries. So once it's done, this page is going to open up like this, where you're going to click on storage types or sequence, click on it, and you need to create your own storage types or sequence. And where for our scenario, we have used the STSS for simple outbound for A007 storage type. So after defining, we need to assign the following path to STSS, where we're going to like enter and save, and then we need to assign those particular STSS to the storage type to the particular STSS, where we're going to assign this alia STSS to the particular storage type, which is A007. Later on, we're going to define the third step in the picking strategy is defining stock removal control indicator, where we're going to go like to this particular path, define stock removal control indicator. And there we're going to assign the new ones, alia SRCI for simple outbound A007. Later on, we need to define storage type for the stock removal as well. So we need to attach this thing for which we're going to follow this particular path, like determine storage types or sequence from the removal. So once we reach there, click on the new items, new entries, like it's assign it here. Click on new entries, and you need to assign the warehouse details, SCARA, removal strategies, and warehouse details, WPT, and STSS as well. Click on enter and save. So once we are done with the defining the picking strategies, so we need to assign the stock removal control indicator to the product master. To do that, we're going to go to this particular SCWM mat one. This is the key code to extend our product master to assign the stock removal control indicator, where we're going to be defining our material. Once you give your material and click on change button, then this page is going to pop up. And then you need to give on warehouse data. You need to assign your PTDI, which is SP, which we have created previously. And later on, you need to make sure you assign the stock removal control indicator, SRCI. Once it's done, save it. Now again, once we are done with the picking strategies, From here, we have done the picking strategies again. And now we're going to do the testing again by creating a sales order with the T code of VL01. Create the outbound delivery number with the T code of VL01N. And again, process that at the EWM side with the T code of /in/SCWM/PRDO. So once you create a warehouse task, then we need to stimulate that task. So click on this task and we need to click on this create button and check the source and destination bins which are proper or not. So this is one of the things which we need to check uh, properly, or else we're gonna be stuck in the queue. The queue is not gonna get implemented. So where we need to check, make sure that the source bin is A007 and the bin is A007.01.01.9. So once we see that everything is good, we're gonna save it and confirm the task. Click on select this particular item. We're gonna click on confirm plus save, and we need to click on the save button. Since the picking is done, like we have to go to load and goods issue tab to complete the outbound process. So since the picking task is done, so here we're gonna do the loading and goods issue manually. Just you need to select this item and click on load and goods issue. So once it's done, all the tasks are completed here. So once we see that the goods have been completely completed from picking, loading, and staging, and PGI, which is post goods receipt, we can see all the tasks have been completed here. So now the simple outbound process ends here. So coming to the POSC, which is like a process-oriented storage control. Here we're gonna doing the same thing, but here we have like different storage types. We're gonna create in this scenario, we're gonna create two materials with X and Y with the two different storage types, A007 and A008. Then we're gonna do the packaging work. We're gonna move this by using the handling units assigned to them, HU01 and HU02. Then we're gonna move this to the packaging work center, which is 8030. And there we're gonna pack these two handling units to the single handling unit here, HU03. Then we're gonna move this handling units by applying the picking strategies to the GI zone, which is the staging area as well, which is 9020. Once it's done here, from here we're gonna move this to 9040. So these are the four steps which you are following here: picking, packing, staging, unloading. So to do that, as you know, we follow the standard outbound process steps. And let's go with the configuration for the POSC. Initially, we're going to define the external steps by going to this particular path, which is SPRO, SAP Image and SCM Management, Extended Management Warehouse Management tab, and define process-oriented storage control. So where we're going to create the external steps, so we can copy it from the standard as well. In our scenario, we have done the copying from the standard ones, ALB1 for picking, ALB2 for packing, ALB3 for staging, ALB4 for loading. So once we are done with this thing, so we're gonna assign these things to by defining, once we need to create this external storage tab, which we are done here in the screenshot, which is ALB1, ALB2, ALB3, ALB4, picking, packing, staging, and loading. So these are the external steps which are already created. Now we need to create the storage process, which is OUTB with the warehouse for Alia, for which we're going to go to this particular part and define process-oriented storage control. Click on define storage control. And here we're going to assign the warehouse details, process type, OUTB, and we need to give the description as well, which is storage process for outbound POSC. And later on, we're going to assign these external steps to the storage process. To do that, we're going to go to this path here, warehouse task, define process-oriented storage control, new entries, assign external storage steps to the storage process. And here we're going to follow the same steps, like same process what we have done in the inbound process, which is initially ALB1 for picking, ALB2 for loading, ALB3 for staging, ALB4 for PGI. So this is what we do. So here I have checked these points, which is automatic because once the first task of ALB1 will complete, then again, once it's confirmed only, then it's gonna move to the next process, which is ALB2, or else it's gonna hold in the queue. So we need to make sure we need to check these boxes. So since fourth one is the final step, we are not going to check this thing. Later on, once we have done this thing, save this thing, we need to set up the POSC. To set up the POSC, same, we'll go to this particular path, click on define process oriented storage control and click on new entries. So here we're gonna assign the source and destination details. So for ALB2, initially ALB1 is not assigned because there we're gonna apply the picking strategies. So process oriented storage control doesn't comes in that. So initially ALB1 is not assigned here. So we're gonna come from ALB2, which is loading, for which the source storage is not defined. It's not gonna define. We're gonna have the destination details itself. Since it's an outbound delivery, we're gonna have the destination because the store already the goods is available in the destination folder. So we're gonna have the destination bin, which is 8030 and storage type and bin which is 001, and here the destination bin is going to be like 8030/01, and again ALB3 we're going to have the source as 8030 8030, and then we're going to having this 9020 as a staging area, which is GI zone. So from packing, we'll be having to the staging area. And from again for ALB4, the staging area becomes the source, and 9040, which is a goods issue, it's gonna 9040 is a door, I think. Yeah, 9040 is door. So that's gonna be like the destination, and 0001 9040/01 is the bin. So this is like a process which we define in the configuration in order to perform the outbound delivery. Later on, we're going to define the warehouse process type, which is OUTB, by going into this particular path, warehouse task, and define warehouse type. Then we're going to copy from the standard 2010. So here you're going to copy from the regular one, OUTB, stock removal, and you need to make sure the WO rule is HU01 because this is the handling unit which we are defining for it. And also you need to make sure you check the regular one, the destination storage type and destination storage pin 8030/1. Once you're done with it, click on enter and save. And again, you're going to define the put away control indicator, PO. Then going to this particular path, create your put away control indicator for the particular warehouse, PO. And once it's done, save it, determine warehouse process type, come back again, go to this determine warehouse process type and define all these things like warehouse, document type, PTDI, and outbound delivery as well, OUTB. Once it's done, the next step is going to be like define STSS, which is go to this particular storage type search sequence, click on ALIA, and define OU. This is like a predefined which we define, and click on STSS for POSC outbound. So once it's done, we're going to assign the storage type to the STSS. Same, click on assign storage types and define S2 alia for one for A007 and second one for A008. So we need, these are the storage types for which we're going to assign the storage type search sequence. We can use the same search sequence for two storage bins as well. Once it's done, click on enter and save. Once next, we need to define the store stock removal control indicator. To do that, go to this particular path. No, we don't have a path. Once you come back from it, you will have this new entries. Click on new entries and define your storage control indicator OUOU for outbound. Also determine the STSS for stock removal for which so once it's done, we're gonna determine the STSS for stock removal. So we're gonna give the removal details, WBT, and the stock removal STSS as well. So once it's done, we're gonna enter and save. So we're gonna create a work center here. To define a work center, we'll be going to this particular path, which is SPRO, SAP Imaging, SCM Management, Extended Management, Master Data, Work Center, Define Work Center. So we need to copy from standard. In our environment, it is VERP. So we're gonna copy it from standard like this. We have it in the screenshot below, where we're gonna give our warehouse details, work center. We need to make sure we define our external step here. Here we assign ALB2 because this is the second step for which we're gonna assign the work center for. And also we have assigned the storage type here, which is 8030 and outbound session and a repack WPT, which is a standard WPT for repacking 3040. Repack WPT is defined because we're going to do the repacking in the work center area. That's the reason we are defining the 3040 and work center layout is VPMX. Once everything is defined, click on enter and save. So assign this bin to the work center. So we need to assign the particular bin, which is like 8030/0001, which is for packing goods issue. So this is the storage bin which we are assigning to the work center. Once it's done, we need to create a rule for warehouse order. What we're going to do, we're going to go to this particular path, SPRO, image, reference, SCM management, extended management, and cross-processing warehouse order, and define creation rule for warehouse order. So this rule is being created for the warehouse order for which we are going to give the details as alia and warehouse creation rule HU01. And we're going to give the storage process as out B. Later on, we're going to define the search sequence for creation rules for activity. So for activity, we're going to create the handling units for it, which is like, this is WCOR. So this is like completely different topic. So this is like an outside from this particular topic. So we're going to skip this here. So for now, we're going to give like HU01 and HU02 and we will enter and save. We're going to give all these details like picking everything and the storage types, sequence details, WCOR rule, description. So once it's done, we're going to change the storage bin in external step. So for the particular storage bin, which is 9020, which is for the goods issue, we're going to change the external step. We need to make sure that we change this setting. To change this setting, we need to follow this path where we define the storage type. We need to select the storage type 9020. And from there, we're going to search for our warehouse. Once we search for our warehouse, we can see that this is a standard 9020 for goods issue. So where we're gonna change our external step to ALB3, we need to make sure of that. Once it's done, we're gonna click on enter and save it. And now we're gonna extend the product master with the T code of /n/SCWM/MAT1 for the material 8680 and 8681. So this is how the thing is. Once you go to this particular T code, the page is going to open in like that. So you need to extend for both materials, which is 8680. Go click on change. And once it's done, go to warehouse data, define the PTDI and also the stock removal control details, enter and save. Till now, the configuration for POSC outbound is done. So here comes the testing. So like we usually do, we'll start with the creation of a sales order, which is VS01 for the material of 28064 and 8065. And then with respect to that, we're gonna create a VL06I for customer detail search. If you wanna know the customer details, you can use this T code. And for material management, material monitoring, MON, and material creation, if you want to create a new material, when you want to do the testing, if you want to do the material with the new creation of new material, then you can use this T code as well. So let's go with the standard sales order with VS01, where you're going to give the order type as OR, sales organization, distribution channel, and division details. Click on enter, and then you will give the normal customer details. These are all done by the material management team, so no need to worry about it. So for the knowledge purposes, I'm saying this thing. And here we're going to give the customer reference, payment terms, and Incoterms for CFR, and location you can give anything, the default value. So once you give two materials, which is 8680, 8681, you need to define these two materials. Click on each material and you need to make sure you check all these details like assigning plant, shipping point, storage locations for both materials. Here I have shown only for one material for references. Once it's done, click on edit, go to edit, click on incompletion log, and select these four items and click on complete data. So assign the following details according to the requirement. So here we're going to assign the standard things like company PR00, and we're going to define an 100 for it. We're going to give an amount for it. And once it's done, you need to click on here, enter. And now the sales order has been created. So with respect to the sales order, we're going to create an outbound delivery, which is VL01N, and you will give the shipping point here and hit on enter. Once you hit on enter, you're going to get a page like this. Check your material details and check your shipping, customer details, everything. Once it seems like it's okay, then click on save. You're gonna get an outbound delivery details with the number of 800 or something, any kind of random number is gonna get generated. Now process this outbound delivery number at the EWM side, which is with the T code of / SCWM / PRDO. You need to make sure that you are checking the right action, right process at the right side, because for you might get confused at inbound and outbound. So check the T codes when you are giving the T codes. If you process this in inbound side, you're gonna get errors and all, and the queue is not gonna follow up. Mostly you can't see your outbound delivery number because it has to be followed at the outbound side itself. So you need to make sure you remember these T codes properly. So here, what is the scenario is like, we're gonna pack this X material HU01, Y material HU02 with the quantity of 100 and 100. Then we're gonna move it to the work center, from work center to the staging area, from staging area to the doors out. So this is the scenario, this is the requirement which we're gonna do. And this is for this requirement itself, we have done the configurations and all. So once we open the EWM site and provide the outbound delivery number, and once it's done, we'll start doing the picking activity first, for which we'll create a warehouse task. To do that, once you go to the EWM side and give your outbound number here in the document ID, and once you select that item, you'll go to outbound delivery order, click on follow on functions, warehouse task, And once you see there are two tasks have been created, select this task and stimulate the task, which you will create. Click on create. Then the tasks are gonna get stimulated. Once you check all the source and destination details, which are like A007 and source and destination details, just save it. You need to make sure the source and destination details. Here, the source and destination is clearly mentioned, which is A007 is the initial storage for picking the data. For the bin is A007, 0101 and 07. And for the handling units, which we are using is 4009, and the destination is 8030 0001 8030 slash 001, which is like work center area. So the source and destinations are proper here. So once it's done, select, save it, click on the save icon here, and check the activity in the task in the monitoring view. To do that, go to this particular T code. You need to make sure that you monitor everything. So this is a part of testing. So once you go there, click on the documents and click on outbound delivery order. And once it's done, select this particular when you expand this thing, you will be getting a lot of available physical orders, everything. So once you click on the outbound delivery, you will get this thing, the outbound delivery order which we created. Select that thing, click on warehouse task. So when you click on the warehouse task here, you're gonna get two warehouse tasks here. Once you're done with it, clear hit on this icon and confirm the warehouse task in the background. So once it's done, the goods have to go for the packing in the workstation. To do that, you need to go to this T code /n/stwm/pack, which is when you go there, you need to enter your warehouse number and work center details and click on execute. And later on, we'll create a handling unit here, which is one handling unit because we are making sure that we pack two items in one handling unit, for which we created the handling unit named Alia box. Once it's been created, you need to drag and drop the two materials into a single handling name unit, which is Alia box 1. Once it's done, you can see here the data has been the material has been moved into the packaging unit, which is a handling unit, and you need to make sure you delete the empty handling units as well. Once it's done, you need to click on complete process setup for HU, and once it's done, now after picking is done, you need to make sure that you go to again CWM mon and refresh the outbound delivery. Later on, once you do it, you're gonna get another two tasks which will be created here. You can see that stock removal is done and picking is done and moving into the work center and packaging is also done. Picking and packaging both are done, and you need to make sure now the staging task has been created. And now select the item and confirm the warehouse task. So once it's done, you need to make sure you will select the last item, which is for the stock removal, and select this thing. Click on this icon and confirm the warehouse task in the background. So after refreshing the task, so automatically every task is going to get confirmed in the same format, like you can see here. And now picking, packing, and staging tasks, you can check it in EWM side. You can see that these three tasks have been completed. So this is like an complete process oriented storage control for an outbound delivery. So in this video, we have covered the two things, which is one is a proper outbound delivery, simple outbound delivery, and POSC outbound delivery as well. Thank you.